What's happening, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. Coming back to you with another video. Rejuvenated, feeling great. Just got back from a little vacation slash business mastermind with one of my best friends. We went over to the Hollywood area, right next to Fort Lauderdale, and I can tell you right now, the weather was much warmer than it is here in Connecticut. It's freezing out, but had a great time. And while I was gone, I actually put a house under contract. So I want to kind of give you an update with my real estate journey. I've been updating you guys every couple weeks. Sometimes it's been once a month. Things were really slow, but as of late, things have really been picking up. But yeah, before I left on my little mastermind with my good friend Dave Koziel, I actually came across a property that had just come on the MLS. And the MLS is the multiple listing service. It's pretty much the place that all the houses go. Like when you acquire a real estate agent, they take all the pictures, information, they put it on the MLS, and pretty much everybody who's working with an agent gets access to this, I guess you want to call it a website, and it's pretty much where most people go to find deals outside of putting up bandit signs or doing like direct marketing or knocking on doors, right? So there was a property that came on the market, and immediately I received an email from my real estate agent, and he was like, listen, this is a really nice unit. It's in a great part of town. It's priced right. Let's go look at it. So immediately I dropped everything that I was doing, and this was about a week ago, and went over to the property and took a look at it, and it was beautiful. It had everything that I was looking for specifically, right? For me, I was looking for something that was a little bit more turnkey, didn't need a lot of repairs. This actually happened to be a side-by-side unit, which are very desirable. Instead of having someone above and below you, it's literally side-by-side. So those are really nice. This one actually had a detached garage. It had a newer roof, newer furnaces. I mean, it was in great condition. And what was even better was it was in a fantastic neighborhood. So for me, like the way that like I look at it is like you could go into like D or C neighborhoods, like into some of the ghettos or into some of like the areas that might have more violence and crime, and you can buy these properties really cheap and you can make a lot of money in terms of cash flow. Like you could get in and maybe after expenses with your mortgage, vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures, all that, you might be in for $1,200 or $1,300, and you might be able to collect, you know, $2,500 in rent and be cash flowing $600, $700, $800 plus. And it's, you know, they call it a cash cow. But the thing is, you got to deal with a certain type of tenant. There's issues and all different problems that can arise. And I'm not saying all because you go into a nicer neighborhood, you're never going to deal with problems, right? That's obviously not true, but you're probably more inclined to deal with, you know, more issues like that. So I was really looking for a nicer property, and I came across this property and went and looked at it. And the thing is, when it comes to like 2, 3, 4 family properties, multifamily properties, if there's tenants already there, you can't just walk in and look at the whole property. You actually have to get permission from the tenant to look through the property. So when I first looked at it, like the numbers were great, the selling price was great. Like I did a video the other day where I shared exactly how I calculate deals, and there's a whole formula, you know, including the price, the repairs, closing costs, capital expenditures, vacancies, any fees and expenses, mortgage, interest. There's a whole video that I did about that, and I'll actually link that down below. But this property was cash flowing about $500 a month after expenses in a great neighborhood, and I knew I had to pounce on it. My real estate agent was like, listen, Steve, deals like this aren't going to come on the market often, maybe once every 2 or 3 months, maybe even more. You've got to act quick. So I did a bunch of due diligence, I did a bunch of research, ran my numbers, and we put in an offer. We put in an offer that was pretty competitive. Because one thing that I've learned is if you have a property that you're interested in, and especially here in Connecticut, the inventory is very, very low. And there just isn't a lot of multifamilies in terms of where I'm looking for right now. When inventory is low and there's more demand, like a lot of times, like if you offer something that's like 40% below market, they won't even counter offer you. Or you could risk having somebody else snag the deal right from under you. So I knew I was quick. You know, being one of the first ones to see the property, and I know I wanted it. The numbers were working, and we actually offered, we made an offer that was, I think, 200. So I think it was like $20,000 less than what they were asking. I was trying to run the numbers in my head. And we ended up countering back and forth, and ended up getting it for $12,000 less than what they were asking, which wasn't bad at all considering that it had just come on the market and the numbers pretty much already worked at asking price. So ended up locking down the deal and signed the contract, all the disclosures that go along with it, which was quite an interesting process. And yeah, the property is under contract right now, so I'm super pumped up, super excited about it. Now, one thing I want to share with you right now is it doesn't mean that I'm going to own this property. This deal actually might fall through. It could fall through, let me put it that way, because you have a house under contract doesn't mean that you're going to buy it, because, well, first thing I have to do is I have to order a home inspection. Because when I'm looking through the property, you know, I don't obviously have the knowledge, neither does my real estate agent, to know if the furnaces are working properly, if there's any issues with the roof, even though the roof is only 5 years old. There could be mold, mechanical issues, foundational issues. There could be a beam that's rotting out. So after you put a house under contract, you want to do, you know, obviously your due diligence, but also you need to hire a home inspector to go through it. So I've got a home inspector who is going to be coming through on Saturday, and we're going to be going through it. And then if that's all good, I'm going to hire the appraiser, get a lawyer, finalize the mortgage stuff that I have to do, and off to the races. So just kind of want to share a little bit behind the scenes of how things are going. It's been quite the learning experience so far, and very grateful for my real estate agent, my mortgage lender. They've been like extremely helpful. And that's one tip that I want to give you. If you're just getting into real estate, or maybe you're looking to buy your first investment property and you're brand spanking new and you're super green like myself, obviously you want to read books, listen to podcasts, do your research on your own, but you want to surround yourself with really good people. For me, I was looking for somebody who was willing to, you know, slow down a bit for me and really teach me and hold my hand through the process. I didn't want somebody who was, you know, overly cocky and intimidated me, because when I was interviewing some real estate agents and even mortgage lenders, you know, some of them were just like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, wait, hold up a second. Like, I don't understand this. And they didn't really want to explain it. Also, in terms of my real estate agent, I was looking for somebody who understood real estate investing, not somebody who typically just works with like a traditional home buyer, right? Because what I'm looking for is going to be completely different than what a normal person's looking for who's looking to raise a family. They might be looking for a beautiful yard, beautiful property, so on and so forth. And I'm looking for, you know, cash flow. I'm looking for what is the rent. I'm looking for how many bedrooms because of, you know, market rates, right? So, it's really important to build up your team. So that's just been something that's really been helpful along the way. So yeah, really right now, inspection on Saturday. If that goes well, get the appraisal scheduled out, because my mortgage lender is going to need that for my financing. Hire a lawyer, because you're going to need a lawyer for title checks, doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't even know exactly what they do, but I know you need a lawyer. And my agent told me, go get yourself a lawyer. So another tip, if you're working with someone you trust, ask for referrals. That's how I found my home inspector, who was great, had a great conversation with him. That's how I found my mortgage lender, referrals. So, you know, be sure to ask your network, the people that you trust, hey, can you recommend a lawyer? Do you know a great appraiser? Or do you know a great home inspector? So on and so forth. So, yeah, finalizing the mortgage, I actually just locked down a rate for my loan. And what's kind of interesting about it is the company that I went with, you lock down an interest rate for your mortgage, and what they offered was something that was called a float down period. So, for example, let's just say I locked in my interest rate at 4.5. If 15 days later it's at 4.2, they'll actually lock you in at the lower price. Now, some companies, they charge you for this, other times it's free. To be 100% honest with you, I don't know everything. I'm not an expert about it, but that was just like one of the cool little perks that they offered me. So, you know, in today's market, with the stock market going up and down, interest rates are just bouncing back and forth. It's been absolutely a wild ride. But yeah, just to recap, without going too deep, 2-family property, put it under contract, side by side, great neighborhood, newer roof, newer furnace, cash flowing about $500 a month with me managing it. I'm going to be living there. Now, it's not actually going to cash flow $500 a month because I'm living there. It's actually going to be losing money. But I'm analyzing it as if, you know, it was fully performing, because down the road I am going to bring in obviously a second tenant, and I'll probably purchase another property or buy a single family home. I don't exactly know right now, but I'm running the numbers as if it's fully performing. And oh yeah, another cool figure, and I use the BiggerPockets calculator for this. I'm actually making a 9% cash on cash return in terms of the money that I'm putting down versus what I'm actually going to be making on it during the first year. So not bad at all. I think that's decent. But yeah, it's a learning experience. A lot of people want to get involved with a, you know, eBay business, or they want to get involved with real estate. They want to get involved with this and that, but they never take the leap. They never have the faith. They don't believe in themselves. They think they're going to screw up and make mistakes. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to screw things up. There's going to be things that go wrong, but that's life. You can't just sit back and be terrified all the time. Oh, I'm going to make a mistake, this and that. You know, if you don't have much money and you don't have any experience with business, you know, I wouldn't recommend just going out and jumping into real estate. But I've been doing this for, you know, my online business. I've been growing it for over 5-6 years now. And I've got quite a bit of income that's just sitting around doing nothing. And I can tell you right now, if you're self-employed and you don't put your money to work, you're probably going to be working the rest of your life. So, you know, we don't have a pension. We don't have a 401k plan. Obviously, we can invest in our SEP IRA, you know, start up a brokerage account, so on and so forth, to have that retirement down the road. But I feel like real estate's definitely a great strategy long term. Who the heck knows what's going to happen with the real estate market in 2 years, 5 years? Honestly, I think the market's probably going to crash at some point, but I'm in it for the long haul. And anytime you invest in stocks or real estate or even an online business or a YouTube channel, like, you should be looking at it, you know, for the long haul, right? You never know what's going to happen 1, 2, 3 years. The stock market's been going up for 10 years straight, so I could pretty confidently predict that it's probably going to crash at some point. But again, don't be scared. Don't be just sitting on the sideline. Oh, I can't get into eBay right now because the Goodwill prices are too high. Oh, I can't start going to garage sales because of, you know, I know a couple resellers that are in my area. Or what if the stock market crashes? Like, you got to be smart with your money. Obviously, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. But, you know, I'm going off on a tangent right now. But super pumped up, super excited about this. And I will keep you guys posted. Either way, if the deal doesn't go through, you know, it's been a really awesome learning experience so far. And I'm really starting to see the picture of, like, how a real estate deal goes through, which is kind of interesting. Just seeing, like, how everybody's working together, agents, you got the financial people, the mortgage lender, inspectors, appraisers, lawyers. Like, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. So I'm excited. Just want to give you an update. Hopefully you guys have an amazing day. I'm gonna go to sleep because I literally just got home from Florida today and I'm on like 4 hours of sleep. So I'm pretty tired, but I want to thank you guys for watching. I will keep you posted with this journey, and like the video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.